"You will never make it as an artist." The words cut through the room like a sharp knife. Burna Boy stood there, fists clenched, his heart pounding. Rejection wasn't new, but that particular moment, staring into the doubtful eyes of someone he once looked up to, shook him deeply. It was as if every single obstacle he had faced led to that moment, and something within him was either going to break or fight back. Little did they know, that same Burna Boy would become one of the greatest artists out of Africa, inspiring millions. I'm telling this story because I'm an artist, just like you, with a dream that sometimes feels bigger than the whole world. I know what it's like to be dismissed, doubted, and frustrated. But this is a story about how one artist changed the game for all of us. This is the best animated story for upcoming African artists, and it's a story that's so powerful it deserves to be on every screen. Maybe one day on Disney Plus as an African animation. Burna Boy's story is one of struggle, scandal, big breaks, family, and ultimately stardom. If he could do it, maybe you can too. Pay close attention because this story will motivate you to become the best version of yourself. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more inspiring stories like this. Thank you. As Burna Boy stood backstage, he could hear the roar of the crowd chanting his name. But instead of excitement, he felt a twinge of panic. The weight of his journey, the rejections, the struggles, the doubters, all crashed over him. Could he really live up to it all? The memories of his past filled his mind, and he felt that same small, scared feeling from years ago. The young artist from Nigeria wasn't born into this life of stardom. He fought tooth and nail for it. He was a survivor, a fighter, and above all, a believer. And for every aspiring artist, his story is proof that dreams do come true if you refuse to give up. Burna Boy was born as Damini Ebunoluwa Ogulu, raised in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. His early days weren't spent in luxurious studios or under any big spotlight. Like so many of us, his life was filled with regular family gatherings, chores, and school. But there was one thing he could never ignore: music. His family had a strong background in music. His grandfather once managed Fela Kuti, the legendary Afrobeat pioneer. Burna grew up listening to Fela's records, mesmerized by his sound, his messages, his daring approach. It was more than just music. It was a calling, a rhythm deep in his bones. Burna wanted that life, even when people told him he couldn't achieve it. There were times he barely had enough money to keep going, but he stayed focused on his art. When he had no access to big studios, he worked with what he had. Burna didn't wait for a perfect opportunity. He made the most of what was available. Here's a preamble of our upcoming animation coming out in 2025, where you'll see the inspirational hard work of a young Burna, animated, sneaking out to record music, his hands and heart trembling as he approached a local studio for the first time. It was there, in the hum of Nigeria's heartbeat, that he knew he was made for this. And while many people now see him as an icon, few remember the early struggles, the painful missteps, and the rejection letters that filled his first years. Burna Boy didn't become a star overnight. It started with small, daily habits, and those weren't always glamorous. He was dedicated to the rhythm and sound of Afrobeat, a genre deeply connected to his heritage. While many artists tried different genres to fit in, Burna stayed true to his niche. Afrobeat was his identity, his voice, and his pride. Even when some people advised him to try a more international sound, he stayed loyal to his roots. That's something I really admire about him. Burna believed that Afrobeat had a place on the world stage, even if no one else did. And his success proves he was right. Burna was rejected by multiple labels early in his career. Some told him he didn't have what it took. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? To be told you're not good enough when music is your whole life? But he didn't let the rejection stop him. In fact, every rejection fueled his fire. Burna believed in himself even when no one else did. And for that alone, he's an inspiration. I think if I were to meet him, I'd ask how he found that courage to keep going. I'd want to know his secret because every artist needs that same strength. And then there were the moments when he faced hard times personally, but Burna handled it in his own way by staying true to himself. He didn't pretend to be someone he wasn't. For aspiring artists like me, it's a reminder that fame isn't just about the glitz. it comes with challenges that can sometimes feel overwhelming. Burna showed us that it's okay to be yourself, no matter what the world thinks. And if that isn't inspiring, I don't know what is. At one point, he was nearly banned from performing in his own country. Fame wasn't easy, and scandals surrounded him, pulling him into negative attention. People were quick to judge his choices, his lifestyle, and his personality. His character, his choices, and even his family's influence were all questioned. It was hard for a young artist to handle, especially when all he wanted was to share his music with the world. But Burna Boy didn't hide. It was a difficult season. He confronted it all head on, whether it was with a bold statement, a controversial tweet, or a powerful new track. It's something that really makes me admire him. He didn't shy away from the criticism. He used it to make himself stronger. Here's an animated version of this moment. Burna standing alone, the spotlight harsh and glaring, with a crowd in front of him both cheering and jeering. This isn't just a story. It's a lesson for every upcoming artist about resilience. Burna showed us that stardom isn't just about the glamorous parts. It's about staying true to yourself, no matter what. If this story motivates you to become the best version of yourself, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as we continue. Thank you. Burna's mother, Bozo Gulu, has always been a rock in his life. She not only supported his dreams, but actively managed his career, becoming one of the most respected figures in African music management. Burna knew he could rely on her, and their relationship helped him stay grounded. It's a reminder of how important family can be, especially in an industry that can sometimes feel like a whirlwind. His connection to his heritage and Afrobeat also played a huge role. Burna was inspired by Fela Kuti's rebellious energy and infused his own music with messages that matter. His songs speak about African pride, political injustice, and the need for unity, themes that resonate deeply with fans everywhere. It's why many people believe that a free animated African music story about Burna Boy would be an incredible way to reach young artists who are just starting to find their voice. Burna Boy's career took another leap with collaborations. He teamed up with artists like Georgia Smith, Stormzy, and even Beyoncé, taking Afrobeat to a global stage. His album African Giant was a turning point, receiving critical acclaim and even Grammy nominations. For a kid from Port Harcourt who was once told he'd never make it, Burna had reached a level of fame that felt unimaginable. In 2020, Burna's album Twice as Tall won a Grammy for Best Global Music Album. For every upcoming African artist, it was a moment of triumph. He showed us that African music wasn't just regional, it was universal. It wasn't long before people started loving to see a YouTube animated story for upcoming African artists to celebrate Burna's journey and inspire others. For every aspiring artist out there, Burna Boy's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and authenticity. He faced setbacks, scandals, doubts, and dismissals, but he never let it break him. He didn't try to be someone else. He remained true to his roots, his music, and his beliefs. And in doing so, he became an icon for an entire generation. Here's some detailed look at Burna Boy's achievements between 2012 and 2014, focusing on key milestones that helped shape his early career. In 2012, Burna Boy released his hit single, Like to Party, in May, a track that quickly became a club anthem across Nigeria. The song's catchy beat and fresh sound helped it go viral, making it Burna's first major hit. The music video for Like to Party was released in September 2012, which further boosted the song's popularity and cemented Burna Boy's presence on the Nigerian music scene. In 2013, Burna Boy's debut album, L.I.F.E., Leaving an Impact for Eternity, was released on August 12th. The album was a critical and commercial success, selling over 50,000 copies on the first day. It was one of the top charting albums in Nigeria at the time, and marked Burna Boy as a new, rising star in the Afrobeat and reggae music scene. L.I.F. featured hit singles such as Yawa Day, Run My Race, Always Love You, and Tonight. Each song resonated with fans and showcased Burna's unique blend of Afrobeat, reggae, and dancehall sounds. Following the success of his singles and L.I.F. album, Burna Boy was nominated for several awards at the 2013 Headies Awards, including Best Pop Single and Next Rated, a prestigious category in Nigerian music for emerging stars. In 2013, Burna won the Best New Act of the Year at the South Music Awards, SSMA, which helped solidify his reputation as a talented new voice in African music. Burna was nominated for the Best New Act category at the MTV Africa Music Awards in 2014, which further increased his visibility across Africa. In 2014, Burna Boy continued to release popular singles and collaborations. His work with other Nigerian artists and producers kept him relevant and maintained his growing fan base. By 2014, Burna Boy was widely recognized as one of the hottest breakout artists from Nigeria. His music was increasingly being played internationally, helping pave the way for more African artists to reach a global audience. In 2014, Burna Boy left Aristocrat Records due to contract disagreements. This marked a significant turning point as Burna chose to focus on creating his own label, Spaceship Entertainment, which he officially launched in 2015. This independence set the stage for the next phase of his career, allowing him to have greater control over his music and brand. These years marked his emergence as a key figure in African music, setting the stage for his future success as an international star till date. If this story ever becomes the best animated story for upcoming African artists, I hope it's filled with all the real, raw moments, the doubts, the breakthroughs, the triumphs, and even the heartbreaks. Burna Boy's story isn't just about fame, it's about the power of believing in yourself, even when others don't. And for every one of us who's ever been told no, it's a reminder to keep going. Burna Boy's success is proof that our dreams are valid, that we can rise even when it seems like everything is against us. And if you're an artist reading this, just remember, your story matters. One day, there might be animations coming out in 2025 featuring your journey, showing the world that every African artist has a story worth telling. So keep pushing, stay true to your roots, and never let anyone tell you that your dream is too big. Remember, you don't need anyone's permission to be great. You don't need the world's approval to follow your passion. Burna Boy's journey is proof that if you keep going, stay true to yourself, and believe in your vision, you can achieve anything. This story is for every African artist with a dream, for every person who's been told no, and for everyone who's ever doubted their own potential. If Burna Boy could rise from the streets of Port Harcourt to the global stage, then there's nothing stopping you from doing the same. If you've made it this far with us, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more inspiring stories like this. Thank you.